And to whoever it was that said I'm fashionably late, I am right on time, right on time. Said this video was going to start at 10 p.m. and by golly, it is 10 p.m. exactly.
10 p.m.
Oh,
exactly.
Lag. I got to turn that off. Welcome all. Thank you very, very much for coming to the Lair of Voltaire. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock somewhere, but it's 10 o'clock here. No, it might be technical. Yeah, it's 10 on the dot. Exactly. We're here at 10 o'clock, just as promised. I can never do anything right for you people. Let's just get right to it, shall we? Tonight, I'm riding a black unicorn down the side of an erupting volcano. We are here at the very last video newsletter of 2020. I am not going to be sad to see 2020 go away, as I'm sure many of you share. It's a sentiment I'm sure many of you share. Hi, John Chadwick. Thank you for coming. I can only hope that 2021 is better in a lot of ways. One is very obvious. I'm hoping we can get back to hugging each other and seeing each other live and me being able to play concerts and meeting you in person, all of that fun stuff. So that means a certain bug has to go away. We have to take care of it one way or the other, and I'm sure we will. So that's the biggest change I'd like to see. But I will say that I'm very, very proud of the fact that we've made it just about through 2020. And we did it together, I made it a point to work harder than ever on this channel. And if you look at the videos, the quality of the videos, the frequency of the videos, you're going to have to notice that I've posted more content and really very, very elaborate content ever since things got, really great, ever since it, I think, became obvious to me that this wasn't something that was going to go away right away. And that would have been around July. So I made a video every single week starting in April when the season started for Gothic Homemaking. And then it was interrupted by the obvious lockdown. And then I came back in July or August, and it's been a video pretty much every single week since. I've worked so very hard because I think that more than ever, you needed somewhere to go where you felt entertained and you felt welcomed and you could be made to laugh and maybe learn something along the way about DIY or whatever the crazy stuff that it is that I do on this show. So I really, really hope that you were there with me, that you saw the amount of effort that went into that, because I really felt it was more important than ever. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year. Got your card, by the way. It's on the tree because Mayumi insisted that your card go up on the Christmas tree. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm such a noob. I didn't even know people put cards on trees. But yeah, your card is right there on our Christmas tree. It's a beautiful one. In any case, it's been a rough Halloween and subsequently Christmas. But man, I did everything that I could to make it fun. I had fun. Mayumi, did you have fun?
Yes, a lot of fun.
I tried to make it really fun for Mayumi as well, since it was her first Halloween in the States, and then it ended up being her first Christmas in the States as well. And I just really strived to make this otherwise crappy year as positive and as fun as humanly possible. And I hope you feel I succeeded at least a little bit. I hope. And I'm glad that you're here. Now, as usual, we're just going to get started the way we always do. This is a video newsletter. So like most video newsletters, it's a lot of information coming at you from me. So if you have questions, I'd say hold on to them till the end, because I do answer questions at the end. But for the time being, I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of, it's like a State of the Union address, and I'm going to tell you a whole bunch about what's been going on in the last month. And we're going to start with live shows. Where am I playing? Near you. Hey, I played in Dallas in November. That was a mini miracle. I was so grateful for that show, and everybody was super cool and everybody was super safe, and we had a really good time. Well, I have another show planned. My next show in 2021 is in Houston, February 26th, and that's as much as I know. I know that I'm playing in Houston, February 26th. You know, all things considered, all things going well, and it being safe and all that. I don't know the name of the club, so I will keep you abreast. I'll put that up on my website as soon as I can. And then after that, in March, there's Dark Side of the Con in New Jersey with a whole bunch of goth bands are playing there. And then there's the UK tour has been rescheduled to April, so hopefully I will see you, my English friends, in April, and Scotland as well. I believe there's at least one Scottish date, maybe two. So I really hope that I get to see you all February, March, and April. And then, of course, if things go the way we hope they're all going to go, then there'll be many, 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 many more shows, and there'll be an opportunity to say hello in person, which I really love to do. And that's it for upcoming shows. As you might imagine, that section's quite short. And now we're going to move on to the thing that's probably the thing that makes me most excited than anything else right now, and that's Black Labyrinth. Now, if you don't know what Black Labyrinth is by now, maybe you're new, but it is my next studio album. It's an unofficial sequel to the 80s film Labyrinth, and it starts out with the death of the Goblin King. The Goblin King has died, as sadly happened in real life when we lost our patron saint of all that was cool, Mr. David Bowie. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, Voltaire. The other night I dreamt that you were the Prime Minister of Canada. I don't know. Canada's looking pretty good these days, except it's colder than here, and I don't like the cold. Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. In any case, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, so Black Labyrinth. Now, if you follow me on the Patreons, I talk about Black Labyrinth quite a lot. So you've already seen a lot of the art, the art that we're doing for the accompanying picture book. And that art is presently being illustrated by Abigail Larson, who's incredibly talented. And so far, the album has 20 songs. 20 songs, because it is a musical. It is a musical in every true sense of the word. Except for the fact that I'm actually singing the songs as opposed to, having different characters sing it. I think that's going to come later. But for the time being, I'm singing all of the songs. John says, I think Black Labyrinth is going to be like the Winchester House. He's going to keep adding to it forever. God, I hope not. I hope not. And thank you very much, Katrina. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I hope not. But I got to tell you something. I wrote a new song last night for Black Labyrinth. I don't know if I'm going to flesh it out and it's really going to become part of Black Labyrinth, but the universe is so huge. It's like a D&D campaign on crack. The main character is Prince Valerian, and he might very well be human, and he falls in love with an elven tavern owner whose name is Zenobia Vosk, and her father, General Vosk, is a dark elf, and he's up to no good. He's doing some things that probably are not for the community, for the best of the community in the Goblin Kingdom. And there's so many characters, and there's orcs, and there's elves, and there's goblins, of course, and there's so many songs, and they all tell this really, really rich tale of this character, Prince Valerian, who shows up in the Goblin Kingdom to meet his hero, the Goblin King, not knowing that the Goblin King has died. You know that now. It's not a spoiler. It's on page 1. Okay, it's not a spoiler, but he doesn't know that. And so it's the journey. It's basically a journey of discovering that your heroes have died. That's part of what this is about. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much. And it's so rich. It's gotten completely out of control. As John Chadwick stated, it's completely out of control now, and I keep adding new songs. I promised myself 20 was going to be the limit, but I believe I've just added a new one for a character by the name of Vex Leora, who I love quite a lot. Vex Leora is kind of like a cross between Sting in Dune and Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. He's got funny flame-like hair. Thank you, Ash. Thanks very much. Thanks for joining us. So it is continually growing, but let's just get to the practical stuff. The practical stuff is that Abigail's working on the art. She's presently working on the redesign of Took Pilfersnatch, who's a goblin thief. You might have guessed that by his name. And musically speaking, I have now recorded demos for, or like the backbone, right? The backbone of the songs. Sturban, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. The backbones of the songs, which is basically acoustic guitar and vocals, so solo acoustic versions of the songs. And I've recorded, I want to say 13 songs, something like that. And then I went about getting drums recorded, and I reached out to no other than Bowie drummer Sterling Campbell. Sterling Campbell also happened to be a member of one of my favorite bands from the 80s, Duran Duran. He's also played with Cyndi Lauper, and he's presently a member of the B-52s, and he's recorded 10 of the 13 songs, and on Friday he will record the other 3, and then we'll just continue working and recording more songs and having him play I think he's going to play the drums on the entire album. That's how it's looking. I now have a bass player. The bass player is another David Bowie alum. His name is Mark Platy, and Mark Platy co-produced the Earthling album with David Bowie, as well as having played, he's a multi-instrumentalist, so he's played guitar and bass and Lord knows what else on countless Bowie tracks since then. He's been on tour with David Bowie more times than can be counted, and he's bringing that vision and that musicianship to the album as well. Thank you, Dark Raven. Good to see you here. Thank you, Sturban. Any vampires in Black Labyrinth? Don't get me started. Don't get me started, Sturban. There was supposed to be a part about vampires. I haven't gotten to it yet, so I can't say it's been eliminated, but oh my God, it's out of control. I may need to reel in that part about the vampires, but it's possible. You never know. In any case, so Sterling Campbell on drums, Mark Platy on bass. He has now recorded bass for 4 songs, and today he recorded a bass for 2 more songs. That makes it 5, and by the time it's done, I think it'll be a whole heck of a lot of them. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. So I think Mark will be playing bass on a whole heck of a lot of them. I'm not going to name any names, but there's 3 songs I have a very particular bass player in mind for, and I don't know if I can secure that person to play on the album, but I'm working on it. I'm hoping. And also added to the roster on cello is Knox Chandler. Now, Knox Chandler used to play with the Creatures, Susie and the Banshees' other band. Thank you, Ice. Ice says, happy late Christmas and early Happy New Year's. And thank you for making the content you make and the song for Brains. Songs, and looking forward to your new songs. Thank you, Ice. I do appreciate that. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I am. I get nervous about mispronouncing people's names. I also get nervous about going out of focus, which I've just done. Thank you for joining us here. So I was just about to say that I have now secured the cellist for the album, and the cellist is going to be none other than Knox Chandler, who played with the Creatures. Knox Chandler was also a member of Cyndi Lauper's band. I think when all said and done, I might have more Cyndi Lauper alum than David Bowie alums. We'll see. I think, all these folks, I think they just all know each other. If you played with David Bowie, then chances are, you played with some other people in A-list musicians, all of my favorite musicians from the 80s. Hello, Camille. Hope you have a happy new year. Also, love the cello. I have to ask, will there be violins? Of course. Of course there will be violins, and I do have someone in mind for that as well. So we'll see. But yeah, of course, there's going to be a lot of strings. There's going to be a lot of horns. So now we have a drummer. We have a bass player. We have a cellist. And it's a long, long road ahead. Noctua, you made it. Thank you for joining me. It's a long, long road ahead to fleshing out these songs. The bright part, of course, is that the majority of the songs are completely written. There's maybe 5 that still need work, but the majority of the songs are written. Those of you who are following me on Patreon, you've heard a whole bunch of this album. And those of you who are part of the Keys to the Goblin City tier, it's an expensive tier. It's $33 a month. But those people are getting all the songs in every form. So these songs we're talking about, they already own copies of these songs as solo acoustic versions and as versions with drums. And I will continue sending each song as I continue adding parts. Hello, Megan. Megan says, thanks for being a wholesome role model. My son, Finn, and I love you and affectionately call you Uncle Spooky. I love it. I'm Uncle Spooky. Tío Tenebroso. That's how you say it in Spanish. Ashley Grant says, I love watching your newsletters and can't wait for the pandemic to go away to see you in concert again. That makes two of us. Thank you, Ashley. And the one oddball says, and then Voltaire came swinging by my chandelier late in December night, and suddenly all was well once more. Bowie himself spawned the Yu-Gi-Oh hair, and no one can change my mind. I don't disagree with you. You know, I'm going to lose a goth point here, or maybe just a nerd point or a geek point or an anime point, but what is the name of the monster in Death Note? It's not Ryu, is it? Is it Ryu? Ash. After COVID, will you be coming back to Portland? Absolutely. Does anybody know the answer to that? Death Note. So what's the name of the Ryuki? That's it. It's not Ryu. It's Ryuki. Yeah. Vex Leora also looks a bit like Ryuki. He's very fabulous. He's very fashionable and very fabulous and very sassy. He's such a great character. I love him so much. Ryuk. Yeah. He loves apples, that Ryuk. And so, in any case, so drums, bass, cello, and now we continue. So this week I returned to the studio to start recording more songs. And what does IHOP say? Had a pretty bad night. Always happy to tune into these. You're so inspiring and such an amazing artist. Thank you, IHOP. Am I doing that right? It is IHOP. Welcome aboard. Your bad night is behind you. Now we're just hanging out here in the lair of Voltaire. So, very excited about the album. And I spoke to an old friend of mine today. This is so weird. I haven't talked to this guy in over 10 years. I ran into his business card. This is how this happened. I was going through some things and I found a business card. Sayan says, thank you for the wonderful videos you do and can't wait for the full version of your sequel to When You're Evil. That's also part of Black Labyrinth. I'll get to that later. Happy Yule and Feliz Año Nuevo. Sediena. Yeah, 28. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Gracias por venir. So yeah, there's a sequel to When You're Evil on the Black Labyrinth. It's sung by General Vosk. It's called When I Said I Was Evil. And the thing that I love most about this song is that, you know, if you look on YouTube, you see that there's like a million videos where fans took the song When You're Evil and they cut it to footage of Disney villains. Well, I decided to take that and run with it. So there's a part of the song that's made up of quotes from Disney villains. And so it's like, you poor unfortunate souls, your diamonds in the rough, but now with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff. And it's all quotes from Disney villains. I love that song a lot. That one's going to be like the last one I record because I want it to be perfect. So in any case, that's what's going on with Black Labyrinth. And I just continue working on it. I'll be back in the studio this week and we're just going to keep plugging away. If you join me on Patreon, you'll get more of Black Labyrinth you probably want to hear. And if you can't afford to do that, don't sweat it. It will come out eventually. Probably. I'm shooting for August 2021. That is my goal. And that's all I'm going to say about Black Labyrinth. And now we're going to switch gears to the Spanish album. As some of you may know, I am putting out an album of my most popular songs in Spanish. I threatened to have that out by the end of this year. And then Black Labyrinth just took more time and Gothic Homemaking took all the rest of my time. And it ended up not happening. And also the studio closed for a while, you know, due to holiday lockdown stuff. And so I think I'm going to record those songs in January and February. I think, crossing my fingers, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to record the Spanish versions of those songs in January and February, and hopefully the Spanish album will come out sometime soon, which brings me back around to the friend that I rediscovered recently because I found his business card. I was just telling you this, and this was somebody that I had once given the master reel of the Devil's Bris to so that he could, you know, divide the tracks, put it on a DAT, and make some remixes. And the entire master for the Devil's Bris has been lost. It was apparently in the basement of a house that was sold. It's gone, which means I can never make an instrumental version of When You're Evil or of any of those songs without actually re-recording it from scratch, which is so sad because I really want When You're Evil to be on the Spanish album. And I wanted to use those songs in the karaoke stuff, but it's just not going to happen. The master's gone. I found this guy's business card. I was like, I wonder if he still has that DAT. He does not. But he has, in his own right, become a very, very successful composer. And we were talking about having him come in to arrange strings and horns and stuff like that for Black Labyrinth. So I lied. I'm back on Black Labyrinth. What's my favorite Disney villain? Oh, Maleficent. Yeah. Looking over at my Yumi, make sure I'm not getting any dirty looks, because I do love those Maleficent movies. We saw one on a plane coming back from Indonesia, and she was looking at me like, "You like this movie a little too much." I was like, "It's Angelina Jolie, but goth. Who could hate it?" Anyway, I do love Maleficent in her original form as well. I think she's amazing, and I've cosplayed her a few times, in fact. So in any case, where's Mayumi? She's right there.
I'm here.
She's over there. So in any case, yeah, I think somebody said my Angelina was goth in high school. Yeah, it's a good thing. So the Spanish album, I hope to start recording the Spanish versions. There probably won't be When You're Evil on the album, but there's like 15 other songs. Yeah. And I hope to be recording that in January, February. And then that brings us to the karaoke stuff. I threatened to make some karaoke tracks, and I was going to start a whole new playlist here on YouTube so that you guys could have karaoke parties and you could sing my songs if you wanted to. And I released one. And then I completely lost steam. I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people probably wouldn't tell you, and that happens to be true. I had completely intended to put out a karaoke video a week, but it was right at the time when suddenly my channel mysteriously went viral for like 30 seconds, and instead of like 1,000 new people a month, I had 10,000 new people a month for a whole 1 month. It didn't last long, but for that blip of time, I thought I might scare away all the people who were like, "Oh, this is a homemaking channel," and I was afraid they were gonna be like, "The hell's this karaoke crap?" And that, on top of working on the videos and working on the album, I just didn't do it. But that's all going to change, because Gothic Homemaking is almost over for this season. And January, I am going to focus on releasing a heck of a lot of karaoke tracks. My guess is that by the end of February, there will be, I don't know, maybe 100 songs, something like that. So, you know, if you don't like karaoke videos, oh well, sorry. But for those who do, you're going to be very happy, because I am going to start just dropping them like bombs come January, which is in a couple days. And that's what's happening with the karaoke stuff. And that brings us to my last topic. What's next? Oh, yeah. No, my second to last topic. You know what? I'm going to save Gothic Homemaking for last. Let's talk about merch. My gosh. For months now, it seems like I've been making videos wearing my fancy antibacterial gloves and my antibacterial masks. And I keep saying, yeah, they're going to be in my web store in a couple of weeks. They're going to be in my web store in a couple of weeks. Well, they showed up, all 8,000 of them, and they were defective. So they are not being sold. And it was terrible. It made me feel awful. The gloves looked great. The masks were crap. I am not going to sell you crap. I am not going to say, "Hey, send me $20 and here's these masks and gloves." And hey, look, they're okay. I'm not going to, I'm not going to say they're unwearable. I'm not going to say that they're terrible, but they are not up to what I consider to be my standard. If I got them and I looked at the gloves, I'd say these are amazing. And then I looked at the mask and I'd be like, this is less amazing. It's just not good enough. So they're being made again. So when will I have them? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe January, I hope. So masks and gloves are now delayed again. And then something really exciting that happened in the last couple of days is I designed the box for my resin candle base. I don't know if I've officially showed you this yet. Let me see. Let me grab one. Oh, wait right there. Don't go away. Hi, I'm back. So this is my resin candle base. This is called the Black Labyrinth Forest of Shadows candle base. Now, a candle goes in here, as you might imagine. It's a candle I designed as well, in the sense that I'm designing the color, the fragrance, and there's a bat a resin bat that goes on the glass as well. So we are presently working on those, trying to get the scents and the colors just right. But in the meanwhile, the base is at least finally done. I am super, super happy with it. I think it looks so beautiful. And hopefully we're going to have these for sale, I'm going to guess around February. But I was just so excited because I just designed the box, and it was the first time I was able to put the Black Labyrinth art on something. And it looks really, really great. So I'm super, super excited about it. And now that does bring me to our very last official topic for the newsletter. And that is, sorry, just updating my stream here because it seems to have lagged. Gothic homemaking. Gothic homemaking. Well, as I started out saying, I worked very, very hard to fulfill my promise that I made back in, well, in April. I said I was going to try to make a video every single week. And then, of course, the pandemic shut that down. But then when I came back in late July or August, I was like, now we're really going to do a new video every single week. I have done that with the exception of one video. I've skipped a week, but my plan has been to get you to 100 videos by the end of the year. Now, I don't think that's going to happen anymore, but let me tell you what's in the pipeline. Okay, well, actually, I will say this. The Christmas videos were really hard to make. I really didn't think they would be, and they ended up being really, really time consuming. And at the same time, keep in mind, my Yumi's here, and I'm trying to show her a beautiful Christmas time and trying to make sure she gets to go out ice skating and sees Rockefeller Center and sees New York City when it's snowing and all of these things. So on top of that and the really challenging videos, I fell behind. And I'm not going to lie, I've been driving myself to an early grave making these videos. And it all culminated in that last video that I put up, the A Christmas Scare-All, you know, the Christmas special. The most ambitious, hardest to make video. Thank you, Python. I'm going to take a break. Hi, I've been a fan for a few years now, and I just want to say I love you and your music. I hope you have a wonderful New Year. Thank you very much, and thank you for your generosity. So the most ambitious, most expensive video that I've made in a very, very long time. You and your wife are so cute, says Natasha. Don't rush me. She's my fiance. She's going to be you can call her my wife. She's been my wife in my heart and in my mind and in my soul since the very day I met her. So you can call her my wife if you want to. I call her my wife a lot. You know, I don't know if you know that. But yeah, like when we're in stores and I'm like, oh, my wife is over there. She's still shopping, you know. I call her my wife all the time. So in any case, so the videos were super, super challenging, and that Christmas one nearly broke me. I mean, it was expensive to make. It was time consuming to make, and I'm killing myself to make sure it comes out on a certain date to fulfill my promise. And the great irony is that the message of the video is that they shouldn't be done just to meet a schedule, and they shouldn't be done because I feel I have to do it. You know, it should be done out of love, and it should be done out of a desire to make something fun, to make something great. And so I just, and then of course, when it had just as many views as me, like talking into a goddamn phone for half an hour, I was like, you know what? I'm killing myself. I shouldn't kill myself. So instead, William Savage, keep up the killing. I'm trying without hurting anyone. Angie, the Christmas special was amazing. Watched it with my daughter. She loves it. I'm so delighted to hear that. So yeah, I just decided to take my own damn advice and not to kill myself to make sure you had a new video every week. Instead, to do them in such a way where it makes sense for my own mental and emotional well-being, and so that they can be quality, and so that they, you know, they're not going to come out a month between each other. They're going to be more frequent than that. But I decided to pump the brakes. So I am presently working on the Gothic bathroom renovation video. I hope to have that done potentially this week. That may very well be this week's episode. It's almost done. In fact, just before setting up the camera to do this live stream, I was in the bathroom putting up a curtain rod. What do you call it? Shower curtain rod. That's what I was doing. Literally right up until seconds of this live stream. So I hope to have that to you this week. I also have another DIY flashback video of the cemetery lamppost, which is back there. One of my favorite projects, doesn't get a lot of love. I don't even really think about it. You know, it's just back there collecting dust, and I don't think about it much. But it's a beautiful object. And if you were to say that DIY flashback episode is filler, you'd be kind of right. You'd be kind of right. Because listen, I had to figure out a way to get to the 100th video. I had hoped for the 100th video to happen in 2021. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And but I did want to get to that 100th video so I could bring it to you ASAP. And so the DIY flashbacks, it's a little bit of filler. It's nothing you haven't seen before, although I think the end is hilarious. The end is new, and I think it's hilarious. Lola says, so glad I could finally catch a live stream. Been following and seeing you live for almost 20 years. Favorite show, Birthday Bash at Bar Sinister a few years ago. Happy birthday to you and the wifey.
And the
Oh,
wife.
happy birthday. Oh, happy for you and the wifey. We're happy for you too. Thank you. So, yeah, those shows at Bar Sinister were so much fun. I can't wait to get back to that. In any case, so yeah, you know, the lamppost one, it's a little fillery, but it was the only way I was going to get to 100 videos anytime soon. And I'd always wanted to make those DIY flashback videos anyway, so there you go. It's a, you know, two birds with one stone. And like I said, the ending I think is really funny. And then, by popular demand, the 100th video will be, as many of you wrote in and requested, a Gothic home tour. So I will finally give you the full tour of the Lair of Voltaire. And I notice, I think Sturban said he wants to see the kitchen. You're not going to see the kitchen. It's the one part I'm not going to show you because it's not done. That was the biggest thing, actually, that the pandemic destroyed, because the kitchen was going to be finished along with the bathroom. Hey, Eliza, good to see you. Thanks for swinging around. So the kitchen's not done, but the bathroom will be done by my 100th video. Everything else in here is so insane. We're going to take a walk down memory lane. I'm going to show you all the art that's in here, all of the projects that I've made that are in here. I'm going to have to straighten up a bit because the place is a disaster. So when will the 100th video air? Here's my proposed schedule. Let's say the DIY flashback video, possibly this week. The Gothic bathroom one, if it doesn't happen this week, it'll happen next week. And then the 100th video will probably happen the first week of January. That is my prediction. And then going on vacation. And then we go on hiatus. Now, keep in mind, Gothic Homemaking for the last 3 years in a row has gone on hiatus in the beginning of December. So I'm sticking around. I'm like, not like our Congress. You know, I'm like, no, there's work to be done. And I'm going to stay here at the Lair of Voltaire until I've delivered those 100 videos, that 100th video to you. So that is my promise to you. Since I couldn't exactly deliver a video every single week, I think like I said, I failed 1 week. I am going to stick around, and I am not going to go on hiatus until you've seen the 100th video. And then the series goes on hiatus. And when does it come back? I don't know. Last year it was April 1st. Could be sooner, could be March, could be February. Definitely won't be January. Taking at least a month off. I will continue working on the Spanish album. I will continue working on the karaoke videos. I will, of course, continue working on Black Labyrinth, and I will continue working on creating some of these beautiful home decor items, which hopefully you will enjoy having in your home. Masks and gloves and all that fun stuff. And that, my friends, is officially the end of my December 2020 video newsletter. It is 10:34. It only took me 34 minutes to tell you all of that stuff. And now, if you're interested and willing, you can stick around and I'll take some questions. Thank you, Sturban. Thanks for sticking around. Zoe says, love you and your music. Can't wait until you come tour in England again. Hopefully April. Happy New Year to you and your lovely wife, Mayumi. It's official. You're my wife now. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you very much. You're officially my wife now.
Super.
Wow, you guys have just saved us so much money on a wedding.
Shit.
Someone's not happy about that. Someone
I
wants.
wanted a party.
You want a party?
Nah.
It's a party here every night, isn't it?
Yes, it's a party, my love.
Party at the Lair Voltaire. Party at the Lair. Party at the Lair Voltaire. Party at Ground Zero. Oh, I should be reading questions, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Crap. Lady Slytherin says hello. Hi, Lady Slytherin. What's the name of the store where you buy all the awesome furniture? Best thing to do would be to go back and look at the first 10 episodes of Gothic Homemaking, because that's where it all came from, those first 10 episodes. Wolf Girl, did you and Mayumi have fun ice skating, and did either one of you fall? Yes and no. Yes and no. So, yes, I mean, I had fun. Did you have fun?
Of course.
We had so much fun. And the craziest thing is that it was late at night. It was like 10 p.m. All the restaurants were closed, because of the rules here in New York. So we couldn't go to dinner. And it was like, what are we going to do? And I just got the most romantic idea. We should go to Rockefeller Center and see the tree. And I was like, oh, no, it's 10 p.m. Everything's closed. And then on a whim, I got online. It said that Rockefeller Center ice rink was open till midnight. I was like, that can't be true. It was true. And we went, and we were able to get tickets, and we went ice skating, and it was absolutely one of the most heavenly experiences I've had in a while. It was so much fun. We felt like 12-year-olds. I forgot that I knew how to skate. I skated fairly well. Queen of the Obscure says, I love your music. You need to collaborate with Emily Autumn. Been trying for years. Well, I haven't been trying for years. I tried years ago, and she said no. She wasn't interested, or she was busy or something. And I haven't talked to her since. But yeah, I'd love to have her on the album. In any case, we had such a magical, magical time. I was terrified when I first got on the ice. That incredibly unsafe feeling of being on ice. And within 30 seconds, my old rollerblading days came back to me, and I was skating like a pro. Not like a figure skater, not that good, but like a pro. Mayumi was a little bit newer to it, I think. She was a little bit more afraid than I was. Thank you, Noctua. Happy New Year. But did any of us fall? Technically, no. Now, if one of us was going to fall, hate to say this, but my money would have been on Mayumi. But I fell.
Oh, you me.
But it's true. Come on.
Well, because you skated for a long time.
I felt more secure. I clearly felt more comfortable.
Yeah.
You felt less comfortable on the ice.
Yeah.
But then I ended up falling like an idiot. Not a true fall. I was already on my knees. This is such a weird story. I'm going to tell you anyway. Hold on a second. Jared says the Industrial Revolution is my favorite song from you. Thank you. Thanks for listening. I love it when people like the old stuff. Wait, that's not what I meant to say. I mean, I love it when people love the new stuff. And the thing about To the Bottom of the Sea is it's like right there in the middle between the old stuff and the new stuff. Claire says, could I sing some of your songs for a karaoke stream in the future? You can. YouTube content ID system is a monster, and it'll probably flag the video. I have it set so nobody gets copyright strikes, but it will maybe claim it if it hears the background music. It might put ads on it and send the money either to me or to the record label that released the album. I don't have a lot of control over that kind of stuff. And I myself am terrified to use music on YouTube because the same thing happens to me. In fact, that's why in the Christmas video, when I sang What's This from Nightmare Before Christmas, I rewrote the words and I sang it to my song Day of the Dead. And Jack's Lament, I rewrote that and sang it to my song Dead. So that if I was going to get a copyright strike, it was going to be against my own music, which has happened, believe it or not. But anyway, so where was I? What was I talking about? I got way off track. Talking about ice skating.
Ice skating?
Yeah. Oh yeah, falling down.
Because
so I fell down because we were almost done, and we had gone around the rink 3 million times, and then I saw some friends who wanted to take a photo in front of the tree. And I stopped and I said, would you like to get your photos taken together? And they said, sure. And I got on one knee to be able to take a picture of all of them together. and then I slipped and I fell on my side. So it was not much of a fall. If I had fallen from standing up, I probably wouldn't be here right now. I'd probably be in the hospital. I think at this point, I'm a million years old. My bones are like, peanut brittle. But I fell from a very short distance. So it wasn't it wasn't really a fall.
No, it wasn't a fall.
I'm going to say I didn't really fall down. Happy New Year. Wishing you both a year of good health. Thank you, Caitlin. And likewise to you. Let's get some more questions. Your music inspires my character writing. So far, it's been one of my biggest inspirations. I always look forward to more. Shadow Empress, thank you very much. I'm delighted to hear that. And I'm making more and more of my songs available with instrumentals because I find that, like, the lyrics, I find trouble writing if I'm listening to music with someone singing. It's much easier for me if there's no vocals. So I hope to be able to provide that experience for so many of you, to be able to give you music that you can work to that isn't distracting because I'm not caterwauling in the background. But thank you very much for saying that. Angel says, greetings from Mexico. Greetings. I'll see you in Mexico very, very soon, sooner than you know. And Bobby says, your music and videos helped me get through 6 months of writing my dissertation. Thanks, Voltaire. Have you thought about releasing any of your CD art?
3D.
Candlestick. Oh, 3D art as downloadable models for 3D printing. Never thought of that. That is a very interesting concept. I guess I would have to have somebody scan it, but yeah, never thought of that. That's kind of a cool idea. Thank you for sharing that. Wolf Girl, rum makes your bones strong. I don't think it does. Yes, it does. Lord Melkor. Is that what it says? Yeah, I can't see that well because I'm old. And he plans to do more country music inspired stuff like Hates Lives in a Small Town, like those. You like those a lot, being a rural man. The thing is, you never know. That's really the only thing I can really say is you never know. Would I never make another country album? Absolutely not. I would never say never to something like that. I really, really enjoyed doing that. And I found that country music, which I always thought I hated, was so similar to what I do already. It's acoustic, it tells a story, it's sometimes funny, it's sometimes sad, it's sometimes both. I found it really familiar to do. So I wouldn't rule out doing it again. Eliza says, have you played a vampire in a film yet? Yes! I played a pea-pyre. You know what that is?
What?
Nothing. You're not listening.
Pea-pirate?
Yes, a pea-pyre.
I don't know what is that.
All right, so there was a web series, Eliza. There was a web series called Maybe Sunshine. And I played a character who was a guy who, he wasn't really a vampire. He was a guy who thought he was a vampire, but he liked to watch women when they went to the bathroom. No, I don't do that. That's why it's called acting. But yeah, I played that character. It's right here on YouTube. Look up Maybe Sunshine and you'll see it. I think it's hilarious. As an actor, I like to play super awkward characters. Like my reel's bouncing around on YouTube somewhere. I got a lot of people going like, that character you played is super cringy. It's like, yeah. I don't want to play normal people. I want to play people who are super awkward, like do and say weird things. To me, if you're gonna, it's easy for me to play myself, which I kind of did in Velocipaster. Altair is kind of just me, but maybe a little bit more exaggerated. But I like to play characters that are, I like to act. I like to play characters that are super weird. Anyway, so I did sort of play a vampire once. I might be playing another one soon, someone tells me. But I haven't signed any contracts. But I'm very hopeful if this project gets off the ground that I am in fact playing the lead vampire in this film. So fingers crossed. I just watched Velocipaster because of you. Oh, thanks, Ross. Hope you enjoyed it. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Let's see. How would you feel if you play the White Rabbit Cabaret in Indianapolis? I'll probably contact them. They do a goth night every month. Madison, I would feel great about playing there because I love to perform. And I haven't played in that state in a long, long time. Like even pre-corona, I haven't played there in a long time. So I would love that. That'd be great. What's up, Cubano? Welcome. Talking shop, life, and goth flavor, says the human element passage. Indeed, my friend. Indeed. How do you say indeed, my friend, in Spanish?
Um,
¿Cómo se dice indeed?
Así es.
¿Sí cierto?
No,
No.
that's the funny way. No, indeed is like como efectivamente.
Efectivamente, mi amigo. There we go. I think that's as good as my Spanish is going to get tonight. Ever thought of a collab with Creature Feature? I'm going to guess my answer is the same as it's been every single time someone's asked me that question, which is every single video newsletter I've ever made. Sure. But yeah, somebody asks that question in every single live stream I've ever made, which leads me to believe that there's some people who are like super obsessed with Creature Feature and also like me, which is great. So yeah, make it happen, somebody. Kitty says you're a true definition of a bard. Thank you very much. Because people ask me all the time, in airports and supermarkets and graveyards, they say, hey, are you a musician? And I'm like, yeah. And they say, what kind of music do you make? And I sometimes say, well, I'm like a bard. And then they're all just like, what? And nobody knows what that is. So it's such a pleasure when people actually know what a bard is. Lola says, I loved Monstrous Lovers. You should totally do more rockabilly. Any thoughts of doing a live stream show where fans vote on the songs you play? Lola, I considered that and I immediately nixed the idea because I know how to play so few of my songs. Allow me to explain. When I do a live show, there's probably 20 songs that I choose from, and there's probably 10 that I have to do at this point. I've reached a point. I don't think this is hubris, and I don't think this is arrogance. Just practically speaking, I may have reached a point where I'm considered like a legacy act, in which when someone buys a ticket to see me in concert, there's like 10 songs they're hoping to hear. William says, I was at sea for so long I did miss your footage from lockup. Oh, no, Bill. It hasn't aired yet. That episode was put on hold when all travel was put on hold, because there was no point in making travel episodes because no one could travel. But thank you, Bill. You're amazing in that episode, and I look forward to sharing it, hopefully in 2021. And thank you for your generosity. In any case, so do they still describe your music as dark cabaret? Absolutely. So anyway, now I've completely lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Oh.
I'm senile. I'm officially senile.
Oh, you were talking. I know. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Can we scroll back? All right, you guys were listening, right? Here's your job. Tell me what the hell I was talking about before I saw my friend Bill and I got distracted. That ain't it. Howdy, Farron. Howdy. I can attest that your shows have several of the same. That's right. We're talking about my songs. That's right. Yes. Thank you. Who said that? I want to thank you. Oasis House. Thank you.
Legacy act.
Yeah. And Christopher, thank you very much. Ray, Lola, thank you guys. Thank you. I need you because I have Alzheimer's. I swear to God, rum is the only thing that makes me remember, to be honest. So thank you for your help. Yes, we were talking about Legacy Act. Like, when I get on a stage, if I don't play When You're Evil, Brains, Land of the Dead, The Night, maybe Zombie Prostitute now, like there's a whole bunch of songs that I think people expect to hear and might even be disappointed if they don't hear them. So I try to play all of those, and then I try to play, mix in some other ones, a little bit of new stuff, a little bit of, B-sides, old stuff you may not, expect. And, honestly, at this point, it means to me that the songs are going to get up to the concerts are going to get up to being like 20 songs long. So now I don't remember why that was brought up at all, but there you have it. That's what we were talking about. Let's take another question. Voltaire, I'm officially senile. Welcome to middle age, where brain fog is now permanent. The craft goddess. Gosh, I sure hope not. I will say, this thing that we're doing right now, this requires a very specific skill, because I'm talking into the camera, trying to be succinct, trying to be entertaining, trying to answer your questions succinctly and thoroughly, and at the same time, while at the same time reading other comments and questions. I think it requires like a very special skill set that I may not possess. So let's see, let's find another question here. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay, man, they go by so fast. Wait. Uh-huh. Okay, mostly comments. Very nice comments that I very, very much appreciate. Not a lot of questions.
Hugo.
Yeah, you can yell them out if you see one.
Yeah, here.
Oh wait, would you do a concert in Jacksonville, Florida? I have played in Jacksonville, Florida every single year for the last 20 years. True story. Thanks to Max Michaels of Movement Magazine, he has booked me every single year for 20 years in a row, with the exception of this one for obvious reasons. So I'll see you in Jacksonville probably 2021.
And so,
how are you? Oh, Sturban, really? How are you? Do you have a year? Do you have a year? It would take a year to answer that question. I'm going to have to say, but you know what? I'm going to answer your question. I normally would never answer a question like, how are you? It reminds me of Spock, you know, in that movie where the computer's like, how do you feel? How do you feel? And he's like, this question is illogical. How do you feel? I'm fine. Busy, probably overworked. I'm my own boss, and my boss is a jerk, and he overworks me. So I probably overworked, busy, but so incredibly happy to have Mayumi here. And I'm normally, as you guys probably know from watching some of my previous videos, mega depressed in December to the point of having to go to like a jungle for a month to unwind. And I'm so happy, and it's because of her. So thank you so much for being here. You make me very, very, very happy.
You make me happy.
Delighted to hear that. So I'm doing pretty good. Ever consider delving into a mix of your usual dark music and son cubano, like a spooky cover, says Daniel Rosas. Daniel, I don't know. Well, there was Chupando, which I know you've heard. So that was like my first foray into like straight up Latin music with a spooky punchline. And I have considered some other Cuban songs, but I have a lot on my plate. Black Labyrinth and the Spanish album. So let's get those out of the way first, and then we'll see where that leaves us. Wolf Girl, what has been the hardest song to create? Oh God. Oh God. I don't know. I do not know. I have no idea. I mean, I'm having a lot. Well, I've been having a lot of trouble with when I said I was evil. I've been having a lot of trouble with that because I want it to be great. Like, you know, you can't say this is a sequel to When You're Evil and not have it live up to When You're Evil. And When You're Evil is one of my most popular songs. So I've been going back and forth on that one. And I have a lot of it written, and I won't put it to bed yet because I'm just not sure that it's finished. So presently, that's the one that's giving me the most trouble. How did you come up with the song Feathery Wings? Alexandria asks. My son's mother, at the time, we were together, and a family member of hers died, somebody very, very, very close to her. And I wanted to express my condolences, but I honestly didn't know how. I literally, and you know, I'm not ashamed to say that life is about growth, and I've grown a lot since then. But at that time, I did not know how to express my condolences because I think not so secretly, like I felt almost envious of the person who had died because I feel like their troubles are over. Well, like it says in the song, your troubles are over, mine are just beginning. And so I could never find the words to tell somebody that I was sorry that they lost somebody that I mean, literally, that I was very dysfunctional in that sense. And then I thought of it from the perspective of the angel of death and how he sees this day in and day out and how it makes him feel. And it allowed me to kind of understand what I eventually understood, which was that it has nothing to do with the person who's died. It has to do with those who are left behind. And from that perspective, I could completely understand what grief was, and I could completely understand how to approach someone who was grieving. And that's how Feathery Wings came to be. It was my attempt to say, I hear you and I feel for you, and I want to bring you comfort. And that was part of my journey to getting to a point where I understood how to console someone. That's what that was. Drake says, my wife Jennifer wants to know what chords or tuning you are safe in your love, because she wants to learn to play it. Gosh, I wish I knew, Drake. The first thing I can tell you is that I tune my entire guitar down a full step. So the first thing you have to do is tune your entire guitar down a full step. And then the really tricky thing about Safe in Your Love is that I don't know the name of the first chord that I play. I literally don't. I was just putting my fingers in places, and I'm not very good at playing guitar. And so I don't know the name of the chord. It's kind of like an E minor, but it's missing a string. I'd literally have to pull out the guitar to know. Honey, can you dig out the guitar? I think it's behind the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do, Drake. Hold on. And don't let me forget, okay? Bendabomb, cannot wait for your new album, Goth Dad. Thank you, Bendabomb. Woo! I'm hoping 2021. And now, everybody, if you give me a minute, I got to try to figure this out. Let's see. How does this go? What if I go to the chorus? Come on,
Feel safe.
I think I might have to literally play it. If I do that, it's gonna blow your ears. Yeah, very funny, Farron. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna have to email it to you because I honestly don't remember. Bueno, ¿lo vas a tocar bien rápido? I'm holding out hope that if I hear it, I might remember it. In the meanwhile, Madison says, what's the song played in the Candy Claus video? More specifically, the parts where Mr. Eyepoach tries to trap Hargoyle and Drew getting bullied. Oh, gosh, I do not know. I haven't watched that video recently. If you send me, comment on the video, and I will see the comment, and I'll be able to answer you. Tráemelo más cerca. Let me see where are my fingers? It's only getting worse, honey.
¿Y así?
I officially don't know. I love you, Got That. I love you too, James. I'm sorry. I really tried, and the fact that I'm like under the gun in front of everybody is not making it easier for me to figure out. But I did get your wife's email, and I will give it another listen. But I don't know the name of it. I'm not going to be able to tell you the name of the first chord because I myself do not know what it's called. Pay close attention, kids. This is how you too can be a success without having any idea how to do your job. All right. We're just going to have to move to another question. I apologize, Drake. I wish I had better news for you. Greetings from Italy. Thank you. I tried to super tat, but I want. Okay. It's okay. Thanks. Thanks for your understanding, Drake. Voltaire, you're awesome. Can't wait to see you the next time you're in Vegas. Ex-Lover's Love. My new favorite song is Ex-Lover's Lover. Wow. I was watching a tutorial on Ex-Lover's Lover, and I'm interested in learning it. Josh, you're in luck. Because that one I know how to play, and it's super easy. It only has 2 chords. What does goth mean to you? Has that evolved? Asks Oasis House. It's, In short, if I've learned anything in the 37 years that I've been living a Gothic lifestyle, it's that it means different things to different people, and that's okay. In the 90s, late 90s, towards the year 2000, when it suddenly turned into like electronica and everybody was listening to what I thought was techno, but they still called it goth, and they all started wearing big stompy boots and, putting yarn in their hair and stuff. I was so confused. I was like, this is not goth. And over time, it survived, and that style survived, and I completely respect that. I respect that different people have a different take on things. I think ultimately Gothic has something to do with darkness, looking at the mortality, understanding and accepting mortality. But I may choose to express myself aesthetically through a more like romantic goth or Victorian Gothic aesthetic, while somebody else may choose to be cyber goth and somebody else might choose to be a death rocker, and all of it's fine. Ultimately, the only thing that's important is how you feel about yourself, and whether being Gothic, however you view that, adds value to your life and makes you happy. And if it adds value to your life, and if it makes you happy and it makes you smile, that's it. That's all it needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. Don't need to fit in. If anybody tells you that you need to do it a certain way in order to fit in, instantly just stop paying attention to those people, because that's nonsense. It's not a contest. It's something that you do to make yourself happy. So all it has to be is something that makes you happy. Coup. I used to be goth and been considered going back. Stopped because I lived in a toxic home which didn't allow it. I'm kind of nervous being judged. Being judged sucks. I'm 53. And if I walk down the street and someone says something super nasty to me, it hurts me just as much as it did when I was 17. It doesn't hurt me less. It makes me angry, makes me upset. I'm more confident. Well, more often than not, I feel sorry for them, which is something that wouldn't have happened when I was 17. When I was 17, I just would have been angry. Now, more than ever, I just feel sorry for people. I'm like, wow, that person felt that it was necessary for them to like tear someone else down to make themselves feel better. How sad that their life is so empty, that this is something that brings them joy. If I see somebody dressed in a way I don't like on the street, even if I think they're completely ridiculous, it's not my business to tell them how I feel about how they look. So, that's, I guess that's how I feel about being goth. I guess being judged is mostly what you were asking about. And yeah, the fact is you're going to be judged. But you're going to be judged no matter what. So wouldn't you rather be judged for being yourself than to be judged for not being yourself? I'd rather just be myself. It does attract unwanted attention sometimes. There is no doubt about it. Okay, so Madison, you sent a comment on the Candy Claus video. Cool. I'm going to check that out tomorrow, and I will give you an answer. Natasha, well, I can't repeat that because I don't use potty words. I don't use no potty words on my stream anymore because there's children watching. Brassy Bats says, well, first of all, Lord Melkor, playing concerts in Mississippi just as soon as they'll have me. Brassy Bats, hello, you're a huge inspiration to my writing and my style as a musician and motivated me as a young goth. Thank you so much for your work and for being a great person. Thank you for hanging around. Thank you for watching my videos. And please share them if you like them. Okay. Adriano says, hey, Gothfather, is there any chance of you playing in Brazil? I get this question every single live stream. Also, it's kind of like the creature feature question. I would love to play in Brazil. It's just all of the emails I get from Brazil are from fans that want to see me play there. 0 of them are from promoters who want to fly me to Brazil. So I'm telling you that eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to go on a vacation in Brazil, and I'm just going to play a damn show somewhere on my own accord, with my own funds, because I can never seem to get anybody interested in booking me in Brazil. But there's seems to be a lot of people who want to see me play there, and I certainly would love to go. I've met a lot of Brazilian people and I've loved each and every single last one of them. So I'm guessing I'd have a really nice time there. Just a quick question regarding your music. Are streamers allowed to use your credits? Are streamers allowed to use it with credits? Um, I allow anybody to do almost anything with my music. You can absolutely, use it in any school project, use it in animated videos. People email me, they're like, hey, can I do it for this? It's very, very rare that I say no. Very rare. I'm very, very liberal with the use of my music. But again, the thing you do have to watch out for is the YouTube Content ID program, which is very, very eager to spot music and then send you some kind of notice. Now, I have my music in such a way where people are allowed to use it, but YouTube may slap an ad on it and send me a nickel. I mean, if I made a nickel, I'd be surprised from YouTube, but they may do that. You will not get a copyright strike. So as far as I'm concerned, can't speak for YouTube. As far as I'm concerned, you're free to use it.
Amor,
¿Eh?
mándale un saludo a Claudia Liceaga.
¿A quién?
Claudia Liceaga.
Claudia. Hola, Claudia.
Es su cumpleaños y de su gemela.
What? Happy birthday, both of you. Feliz cumpleaños, las dos. I first heard your music on Billy and Mandy. I've loved it ever since. Also, I love the USS Make Shit Up. It's a fantastic song. Thank you, Bird of Prey. Thank you very much. I'm presently working on the instrumental versions from that album. They are so much more safe for work now that they don't have words. Lola Blue, any chance of a tour with Bella Morte and Ego Likeness? Because damn, I could die happy. Love me some Andy and Steven. Anything's possible. Anything's possible once tours happen again. I've certainly toured with both of those bands, and anything's possible. I suggest you check out Daria Cohen. She's an animator with a series called Vampire, and every song in the series is one of yours. I should check that out. I'm kidding. I've seen them all. They're amazing. And you lie. Not all of the songs are mine. There's like a Lily Allen song in there somewhere. And I can't tell you what that one's called either because it's not safe for work. But yeah, those videos are great. Duke is hot, says of Cats and Crepes. Duke needs to eat a sandwich though. He wants to be a big boy like Voltaire. And I need to eat a few less sandwiches. Oh no. David says, Voltaire, pray for me. Winter storm headed here at Oklahoma City. Good luck. I hope it's not too terrible. A little bit of snow is nice, but you don't want to be under it. You don't want to be under a ton of it. Dylan says, are you a fan of Guar? I haven't heard Guar in a long, long time, but they used to play Dragon Con, and I was a little bit more familiar with them. I think they're a hoot. I think they're really cool. Two true trivia. Oh, it's Adriano again. Bowie is my childhood hero, and you certainly is my favorite adult musician. You inspire me as a musician. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's, just being mentioned in the same sentence as Bowie makes my day. So thank you so much for that. Love Gothic Homemaking. It has turned me into a big-time DIYer. What are your favorite YouTube channels besides your own? Says Stacy. God, what do I know? I hate to say it. I've somehow turned into someone who watches the news. I used to never watch the news. I hate the news. But I've suddenly find myself watching a lot of the news. And I don't know if it's because it's all so crazy. And I don't know if it's like I feel like I need to keep track of what's going on or not. But I think more than anything on YouTube, you know what? I've been watching a lot of Saturday Night Live on YouTube. I watch more Saturday Night Live than the news. Mayumi's not convinced. She's not convinced. I like Jade the Libra. I watch her stuff. She's fun. We do a lot of the similar stuff, obviously, similar channels. But she has her own spin and I have my own spin. And so she's a lot of fun to watch. Miss shows, live in Arizona for years now. Haven't seen a good Lola says, I thought she said I miss shows. It's I miss snows. Okay, well, we got to wrap this up because it is 11:09. Usually these newsletters don't go longer than an hour ever since they started being live. So let's wrap this up. Let's do one more question. Are you on Cameo? Would you do voiceover work? Says Top True Trivia. Oh my God, I got to pause because now all of a sudden a bunch of questions came in. I am not on Cameo. You're never going to believe this. You have to apply to be on Cameo, and I applied and they never wrote back. So I guess I'm not a big enough star. People do email me. People email me so often to record a shout out that I just don't do them. And I'm sorry to say that, but like, unless it's a really specific situation where somebody's in serious dire trouble, I just can't do them because that's all I'd be doing all day long. It takes time away from the work. So I charge for them when people are like, hey, I really want you to do this. Usually I just let them set a price, but it's kind of like if it was Cameo. But I'm officially not on Cameo. Would I do voiceover work? Sure. I love doing voiceover work. We're talking about paid job, paid work. You think I'm a fool? Of course I'm going to do paid work, especially this year. Colin says, your videos have made my year. Love to see more. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope there will be more. Natira and Charles, you've mentioned you're a Trekkie in your past videos. What's your favorite series? What's my favorite series? I mean, I don't think anything will ever top the original series for me, but I love Discovery. I'm deep, deep, deep into Discovery, and I was from the beginning. A lot of people took them 3 seasons just to stop refusing not to watch it, but I've been watching it from the very beginning. I like it a lot. I also like Mandalorian, which is not Star Trek, but just had to throw that in. I really enjoy Mandalorian. Thursdays around here have been a lot of fun because Thursdays, my video launches in the daytime, and then at night we'd watch Discovery. And if we were up late enough, which we always are, then we'd immediately watch Mandalorian.
Yay.
So that Thursdays were always a lot of fun around here. Mandalorian's over now. Sad.
Every night is fun in here.
Every night's fun here.
Yes.
We do make it fun.
Yes.
We do make it fun. Any chance of Gothic outfit grooming tutorial? I'd love to have facial hair as gorgeous as yours, says the Marquis de Pressed, or Prest. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Marquis, just, I don't know what to say. My grooming regimen is so non-existent that I don't know it would be worth making a video. I just let it grow. That's it. Let it grow, let it grow. Make your beard really long. Let it grow, let it grow. Some people really hate this song. I just let it grow and then I just cut it. I have like a razor that has like an attachment, so like, you know, it cuts it at the right length. That's it. That's all I do. I don't do anything more to it. But thank you. I do appreciate the vote of confidence. Chelsea, thank you, Chelsea. Thanks. And that's it. One last question for real this time. Yes, original Star Trek. Woohoo! Okay.
Would you be interested to be Would you be interested to being hired to be a Gothic homemaking consultant here in Georgia?
Okay, so that's the last. I guess that's going to be the last question. Mayumi has picked the last question of the evening. Do you know who sent it?
A. Kane.
A. Kane. Would you be interested in being a Gothic homemaking consultant here in Georgia?
Yeah.
That's lovely. I'm extremely appreciative that you would choose me, and I'm flattered and I am honored. The chances of me doing any kind of, personal consulting work is very slim because I find it nearly impossible to keep up the pace on making Gothic homemaking episodes. And the moment I stop making Gothic homemaking episodes, which will be in about a week, I'm going to instantly shift focus to working on other projects, other personal projects. So ultimately, as long as there are albums in the pipeline and episodes to be made and merch to design and all of that stuff, the chances of me like doing personal consulting work is unfortunately probably slim. But it is my great hope that with the work that I put out into the world, you find something that you enjoy, you find something that you find entertaining, you find something that teaches you a new skill, how to paint things black, how to glue things together, how to turn your bathroom into a spooky Gothic bathroom, and all of those things, I hope affect your lives in a very positive way. It's a short time we have here on this planet. We all have a choice whether we want to spread hate or whether we want to spread joy, whether we want to be a positive aspect in people's lives, or whether we want to be negative. And I have chosen to be positive. And I have chosen to, and I find that the more positive my output is, the more positive my life is, and the happier that I am as an individual. So keep it positive. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you here again in at least 2, possibly 3 more, well, 2 more videos, 3 more videos before the season is over, and then we're going to switch to more music related stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And then this is the really awkward part where I try to figure out how to turn this off. And I don't know how. I'm so useless. Oh my God, no, I'm still there.